What's going on, my broskies? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and today we have a miniature showcase of Shanks and Buggy. And I mean, look, there's not much of a showcase here, but I wanted to make a video just talking about this unit since I was lucky enough to pull them, unfortunately not getting my hands on Whitebeard and Blackbeard, because that unit, just out of these two units, Whitebeard and Blackbeard is the unit that I think I would have had the most fun with, but you know, obviously we ended up pulling this unit, and I don't think this unit is going to be that good right now. However, I do have a feeling this unit will be very useful in future Super Boss Kizunas, mainly due to their special, and I mean, to be honest, even their switch effect is very useful too. But unfortunately, their captain effect is not the best, as we do use him as a captain in this video, and after using him for a little bit, it's pretty straightforward by looking at his captain that it's not really built to be used as a captain. Well, yes, you can definitely get a lot out of it. I mean, as a dual unit, as a captain, he does do -2 cooldown at the start of the quest. It is nice to have more HP, decent attack boost, I would say, more matching slots, heal for every perfect, like very basic bare bones stuff. The additional effect that you get from their captain is that if you use a special to give color affinity, they extend it by 1 turn, and that kind of effect, like 99% of times, isn't that useful. Like, it really isn't. The only way that this would actually be useful is if you run another character on your crew that already gives color affinity, so that you can use their special ability to buff or extend, or you know, whatever it is, you know, basically give the buffs to that color affinity, which is kind of weird because this unit already is the color affinity unit. But the way that this unit gets the most out of them is if you use it alongside other color affinity boosts, which can be kind of annoying because it means you are kind of fulfilling the same role on 2 different slots on your crew. So that is the only real finicky thing about this unit. But what you can get out of it is pretty good in terms of color affinity damage output. So the captain ability itself, not really much to talk about, but the special ability is very strong, as it allows you to get 7 turn removal of paralysis and attack down. So that's very nice. Unfortunately, on Super Boss Kizunas, like, that type of effect isn't always going to be useful, because a lot of the times the utility that you need on a Super Boss is relatively minimal. I mean, obviously that is subject to change, but removing 7 turns of attack down and paralysis is just a nice addition. They do lock orbs for a turn as well, and then they give Psi and Dex at 2.5 color affinity. You know, like, specials on Legends that are color affinity boosts are never really my favorite, because they're the most difficult buffs to really use in various amounts of teams. And not only are they doing color affinity boost, but it's only for 2 colors, so you are heavily restricted in terms of where you can actually use this special, which is super unfortunate. It makes it actually very difficult to showcase, and that color affinity is a 2.5 for 2 turns, which is actually pretty good. But the best effect is the one after that, where it says that if you have a color affinity boost for 2 turns or less when you launch their special, then it's going to go ahead and make that color affinity boost buff to 2.75 times. So that's pretty cool, because it means that if you have a support effect that gives you like a 1.3 color affinity boost, and then you go ahead and use this guy's special, it's going to buff that color affinity boost of 1.3 all the way up to a 2.75. That, in my opinion, is the best way to utilize a character such as this, where normally you can't really get a good color affinity boost, but using this character in pretty much any team, being able to just chuck a random support and then get a 2.75 color affinity boost out of that, definitely going to be the best way forward for this character. Furthermore, it does state that if you have a color affinity boost that is 3 turns or more when you launch the special, then you reduce the duration by 2 turns, and you actually enhance the color affinity buff by 0.75. So this is where I guess their captain ability can come into it. If you use them as a captain, and then you have a color affinity effect, and then you use their special, more often than not, you're going to be having at least a 3-turn color affinity boost, which you can go ahead and buff pretty significantly with their effect. If you actually get everything in line, you can get like upwards of like over a 3x, 3.25, potentially a 3.5 times color affinity boost. But in order to do that, it is quite a challenge. You actually need to basically build your team around trying to aim for that 3.5 color affinity boost, but realistically speaking, it's not really something that you should be looking out for. As I said, I feel like the best way to use this is to have a support effect that gives you a very minor color affinity boost, and then you can just use their special to just buff whatever affinity boost you have to actually become a legitimate boost that you can use to basically kill enemies with, honestly, maybe with just that boost alone. The really cool thing as well with this unit is their switch ability. I think it's actually very, very cool. So unfortunately, it only really, provides a slot to themselves. It does go through block orbs though. It gives them a tandem slot, and then also gives a 15% resistance for Cyan Dex. And then the super switch is giving their own slot and adjacent slots into tandem that go through block orbs. So that's kind of okay. And then also 30% resistance down for Cyan Dex. And this is what I was saying before, where this unit's going to be a really good unit in Super Boss, because if you're up against an int team, or an int boss should I say, or you're up against a quick boss, being able to not only provide a very substantial affinity boost, but to also give 30% resistance on their switch as well is incredibly valuable, alongside that switch ability that can generate tandem slots, which you can use to activate super tandem abilities. It is a little unfortunate though that Shanks and Buggy actually don't have a super tandem where this unit is used for it. So it would be nice if we got like a super tandem Rayleigh or a Gaban or a Roger in the future, where this character could potentially synergize with that and you could get a lot of damage output that way. I will say as well is that this character's final tap might be one of the worst final taps in the game. A lot of people may think that I'm very strange for saying that, because all you get out of it right at level 5 is a 1000 base attack boost, and you get a 2.5 times conditional boost against defense down. Now, mind you, that conditional boost does not go through immunity, so that's obviously one big issue. The conditional boost is only for the final unit, which is obviously a big problem, and it means that, a lot of the time, if you're already going to be running a conditional boost, like if you're doing like mass damage output, right, you're probably already going to be having a defense down conditional effect, so the fact that you just give it 2.5 times conditional boost is just kind of strange. Like hypothetically, if you're using like Nico Robin, for example, for her conditional boost, she's already giving you a 2.25 conditional, so if you final tap with this unit, I believe the final tap does override that, but you're only just getting basically a 0.25 increase, so it's just not a good conditional boost at the end of the day. It's not a good final tap, and as much as I really despise final tap these days because a lot of them are just very generic, I do like what they did with the versus Blackbeard character. But that's pretty much going to wrap it up from me. That's my thoughts and opinions currently on Shanks and Buggy. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and yeah, basically, they're going to be a very good sub in the future, but hopefully you enjoyed the video today, and if you guys did, make sure to go ahead and leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post on my channel, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. And that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.